Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. Today we're looking at some listener-submitted material on day trading. It seems like a really fast-paced, exciting world, and I'm eager to break down some of these concepts with you all.
Absolutely. The world of day trading can be very exciting, fast-paced for sure, but you don't have to be on the floor of the stock exchange to be successful at it.
Right, and actually the excerpt that was sent in talks about three key elements: dedication, strategy, and discipline. They're all super important, and, I think that they apply to so many areas of life.
Definitely. In fact, the source even goes so far as to recommend starting with something called paper trading to learn the ropes, so to speak. Have you had any experience with that?
Oh, paper trading. Yeah, it's like a simulation.
Yeah.
You can practice making trades without actually risking any real money.
Exactly. And that ties in perfectly with the first principle, dedication. Day trading, like any skill, needs constant effort and a real thirst for knowledge. It's a dynamic environment.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You can't just jump in and expect to be like an instant expert.
Yeah.
There's a learning curve. It's not just about watching charts.
Exactly. It's about learning from every trade, even those simulated paper trades. Constantly researching and staying up to date with market trends, really engaging with it all.
Right. It's almost like a pilot using a flight simulator. You practice in a controlled environment and build those skills before you take on the real deal.
Absolutely. And speaking of the real deal and navigating the complexities of the market, that's where the second principle comes in, strategy.
Right. It's not about just going with your gut or getting lucky, I guess.
Exactly. It's about having a solid plan in place. What's your risk tolerance? What are your goals? What indicators are you using to make trading decisions?
Yeah, the listener actually sent some information on moving averages. And they seem to be a pretty common tool in day traders' toolkit.
Yes. Moving averages are a great way to smooth out the noise of day-to-day price fluctuations. They can really help you to identify trends and potential buy or sell signals. It's like looking at the bigger picture instead of getting lost in the little ups and downs.
Right. But even with tools like moving averages, it's easy to get overwhelmed or even make impulsive decisions if you're not careful.
You're absolutely right, and that's precisely where discipline comes in. It's the superpower of successful day trading. Think of it like a seasoned chess player, they're not just reacting, they're thinking several moves ahead and always adapting to their opponent. In this case, the market is your opponent.
Okay, that's a cool analogy. And the source mentions avoiding chasing losses, like when a trade isn't going your way, and not letting greed dictate decisions when things are going well. But how do you actually maintain that kind of discipline, in the heat of the moment? It seems pretty intense.
Oh, it absolutely is. There's a lot of psychology involved. One technique that's often recommended and actually mentioned in the material you sent is setting up something called a stop loss order.
A stop-loss order.
Yeah. So basically, it automatically sells your stock if it drops to a certain price that you set beforehand. Takes some of the emotion out of those tough decisions and prevents potentially bigger losses.
That makes a lot of sense, like a safeguard against those impulsive moves. It's about staying focused on the bigger picture, even when your heart's racing, huh?
Exactly. And it's not easy. But that kind of discipline can be the difference between a winning and a losing trader. And you know what's really fascinating? These principles, even though they come from the world of finance, can be applied to almost anything.
That's what I love about these deep dives. There's always a bigger lesson to learn, even from topics that might seem really specific, like day trading.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Like, imagine if we could all harness that same dedication, strategy, and discipline in other areas of our lives. Think about the possibilities, whether it's starting a new business or writing a novel, even mastering a new recipe.
Those three elements can really make a huge difference. So listeners, how can you apply them to your own lives? Think about a goal or a challenge you're facing. Could you approach it with that same trader mindset? Maybe give it a try.
It's a great question to think about. And that's all we have time for on today's deep dive. Thanks for listening.